As prairie tribes lived on the plains, they formed a close relationship with their food sources. Vegetation wasn't available in winter months, so Tinpsila, or wild turnips, for example, gathered in June, would be braided and dried for future use. That tradition is carried on still. John Gozensener and his sister Geraldine forage for the wild plant on family land.
First of all, I want to thank our ancestors for this knowledge, and I want to thank these people to come here so we can show our young ones what's important to us as Lakota people. And thank you to the Tinpsila plant and Mother Earth for letting us come out here and providing us with good, healthy food.
Well, the day finally came that we could gather Tinpsila. And I don't know, am I saying it right? Tinpsila?
Tinpsila.
Okay, and what exactly is Tinpsila?
Well, it's a root. It's the the bottom part of the root, like that. And people think it's a turnip, but they have different names.
Now, is Tinpsila the name
It's a Lakota. It's a Lakota word. But when the Lewis and Clark found it, they called it turnip. Breadroot. Because the reason why they call it breadroot too is because a lot of tribes after they dried it, made a powder out of it, and then put it in their breads. Or it's very high in protein and vitamin C, and so it would be like it wouldn't really be a carbohydrate, but there is fiber in it. It's very good for you. Yeah.
Now, I noticed before we gather it, is that traditional that we pray and give tobacco?
That's what they used to do a long time ago. Is they'd pray.
It's because our creation story has an emergence for us that we're part of this earth, so we would consider this our relative. We approach it that way, so it's not so much tradition. It's the way we believe. It's part of our spirituality. All these things that we utilize, we're relative to it. Just like the brother is the buffalo to us.
When Tinpsila is ready, do you know that it's a particular time of year?
Yep, it becomes ready to be dug in spring.
If you do this every year, pretty soon you're tied to the cyclical patterns of seasons. After winter, spring is coming. The meadowlarks are singing, announcing the renewal of the earth. And I start thinking, wow, these things are going to be coming up.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm like a little exhausted. I mean, it is a lot of work.
But when I was growing up, we used to go out and do it, and I used to hate it. Yeah, now I wish I would have paid more attention.
So people work as a collective as opposed to individuals. It's really hard to do this. Can you think of this as one person going out there and trying to create wealth with this? If you do it collectively, we all benefit. So we dug these this afternoon. So it's something you just can't set aside and we'll finish them tomorrow. So this is when you're going to go out and do Tinpsila, it's a commitment. It's what I call, just go like this. See it pop right out.
What I do is I line them up, big to small. I mean, the bigger ones on the bottom and the smaller ones. Yeah. So, let me see here. And then you just braid them.
So I have imaginations that, okay, here comes the crew back from a day of it's in Tinpsila. So then there's other people that stayed behind in the camp. They did other things, and then so they brought back a big bundle of. So they finished the job, But I see this as a cooperative of the whole family, the whole. Yeah. So
wow.
look at that, see?
That's really nice.
Yeah. And then I'll eat this one.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It was this was one of my best.
You'll sleep good tonight?
My best adventures, yes. And I've been to a lot of places, and this was very magical. Thank you for sharing with me. The season for gathering Tinpsila is fleeting, but their braids can be stored well into the winter if kept dry. Fresh or dry, they're a welcome addition to soup. So this is the Tinpsila that we gathered yesterday, and you did all the hard work. And because I don't need all of these, would you start at the, if you were going to do something, would you start at the bottom, or would you start at the top to take off? Is there
Or in the middle.
Or in the middle? Is there like, I was just wondering if there was a certain way.
Just, you know,
I know what
do you want bite size? You know, these have a kind of like a little stronger taste to them. The bigger ones, to me, they've got this really woody, earthy taste to it. Smaller ones up there are sweeter. Remember you ate
Yes.
one? You ate one yesterday, and how it was kind of mild, but it had a sweetness to it.
Yes, it reminds me of like a parsnip in a way.
Yeah,
but and a turnip, but more sweet.
So when I'm dishing myself out of a pot of soup with Tinpsila on it, I'm digging around for the mid-sized ones, which are bite-sized and sweet and tender.
Soup is a dish that has been enjoyed by generations on the plains. Native cooks would place liquid, meat, and vegetables in a bison's stomach or other reservoir and add hot rocks to make it boil. Winter vegetable soup with Tinpsila is a simple and hearty dish which also includes carrots, celery, sage, and shallots. And I like to use shallots because they're milder than an onion, and I think that the turnip has a nice flavor, and I don't want to lose the flavor. Okay, so what I'll do now is I have everything chopped up, and I'll start to saute these, and we'll add this. I don't want to like brown them. No, I just want to cook them and sweat them. So you were saying that you enjoy cooking. When did you first start cooking?
I think when I was a young man on my own, when you get hungry, you figure out ways to do it. So like I was like cooking from memory of seeing what my grandmother, she didn't really teach me, but I guess I'm a good observer. Took in things my grandmother did, my mother, my aunts, you know. Never took any formal classes. But,
and I think that's the key. Observing is huge.
But I really kind of got into cooking for my children. And when I was a little boy, we went out hunting and digging up turnips and all that. So I've always observed my grandmother making stews, you know, all different kinds. If you can't believe how many variations of wahampi.
Oh,
yeah, that's what we call it.
And wahampi is soup in the Dakota.
Yeah.
So now I'm just going to add the Tinpsila. This will be like a nice prairie vegetable soup, I guess.
Wow, that looks really interesting though, as far as the...
I'm just going to add a little more. Salt is our friend. So now what I'll do is, here I have this water. And we're just going to let this simmer. It has a nice color.
Well, I'm getting ideas what I would do from this, taking what I call the Dakota cuisine to another level.
Yeah, no. Well, see, now maybe next year we'll be visiting with you because you'll be doing a cookbook or something. Now this, I mean, I could cook this for longer, but when you eat Tinpsila, would you rather have it be a little bit more crunchy?
I like that.
Crunchy?
That's all to me.
No, because I'd like to eat it the traditional way.
To me, when I think about it, that's the essence of when I had it always served, and you know, as a little boy, all the way to now, when people do bring it to feasts, and I've always had it where you can chew it. See this? I see like grease swirls in it, but I know it's not grease.
I know, it's like olive oil. Yeah, it's nice olive oil.
Ooh.
Is that one?
Now look, even this plumped up a little bit further. See how those pieces that you chopped up, they kind of absorbed a little more fluid and they plumped up.
We just picked these yesterday.
Oh, that's
definitely is
the ultimate treat to me, is that just yesterday these things were in the earth. And they had reached their zenith as far as this growing season. They were just ready to be harvested. Now we're eating them. I mean, it's an amazing circle we've been through.
Circle of life.
Yeah.
It's very delicious.
Well, I am inspired. I am going to go out and pick more, dig more. Even if they dried, I'd reconstitute them and quarter them, slice them, and make a soup like this. and experiment from then on, just from what we discovered here. So.
And this really didn't take that long. I
Yeah.
mean, really just to cut up some vegetables, and we just used water, and you could taste the flavor of the vegetables. And
It's even good to look at.
how would you say, like, thank you in Lakota?
Well, in kind of more of a formal way, the men would say, well, I would just say it my own way. Lakotas, I would say, Wopila echa. It's like, thank you very much.
Wopila echa?
Yeah, and women, they have a different ending on their words. Well, a woman would say, Pilama yaye.
Pilama yaye?
Yeah, and a man would say, Pilama yellow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so men and women have a different,
Okay. Pilama yaye.
and I'd say, Pilama yellow.
Ah, okay. Yes.
Le wahampikele lo washtelo.
Well, this is good.